Oi oi lads, what's going on? Welcome back to another video, and as you can tell by the title, it's going to be match week 4, I think it is, 3/4, but the title is called 4, for my championship predictions of all the fixtures that's going to be happening over the weekend. So yeah, let's get straight into them. But just before we get into any of the fixtures, I'd like to thank you all for getting me to 500 subscribers. It means a lot to me, albeit it's just a click of a button to you lot. It means so much to me, every single one of you. But now it's the grind towards 1,000, so if you're new to the channel, then please drop a like below on the video. It would massively help, and drop a subscription, as we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers as quick as possible. It would mean the world to me, please. And yeah, let's get straight. So starting off with tonight's game, which happens in about an hour or so. It is Birmingham taking on Swansea. Birmingham at home, and I don't think they've got a win yet, whereas Swansea have won 2 out of 2. So Swansea are going to be having the tails up in this one. Birmingham, not so much. They're going to be looking for the win, obviously. They're at home. They're going to go for the win. But yes, Swansea are going to have too much quality for them. But who knows? But I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Now moving on to Ipswich Town versus Villa. Now, Villa obviously starting off with a great start over the first week or so of fixtures. And Ipswich starting slow, but quite an average team at the minute, Ipswich are, and it's going to be tough for Villa to go to Ipswich and get a result, because obviously Ipswich want to win. It's just as simple as that. They want to win to start off the season, and it's going to be a hard one, this is, to predict, but I'm going to go for an Aston Villa 2-1 away win. Now moving on to Wigan versus my team Forest. Now Forest have got off to an okay start, 2 draws and a win. Now a win at Wigan would make it a good start, if you know what I mean. We'd be up there. A loss would mean we're not had the best of starts, really, have we? A draw, then we take it and then move on to the Birmingham game. But a win would be perfect. So I'm gonna back my team, and I'm gonna go Forest for a 2-1 win. Now moving on to West Brom versus QPR. Obviously QPR without a win so far under McLaren. They may have won in the cup, I'm not sure. I think they did. But West Brom losing to Bolton, drawing against us, and then beating Norwich, and I think they're going to get another win in this one. I'm going to go for a 2-0 West Brom win. Now moving on to Reading versus Bolton. Now I predicted these two to be coming near the bottom of the table. Reading without a win, Bolton with the win at West Brom on the opening day. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 Reading win. I don't think there'll be many goals in it, so that's why I'm going to go for a 1-0 Reading win. Now moving on to Bristol City versus Middlesbrough. Now this could be a very exciting game. 2 exciting teams. Well, I'm not sure about Middlesbrough. On paper they are a very exciting team, but with the way Pulis plays and things like that, they're not really that kind of style. But Bristol City versus Middlesbrough, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Now moving on to Leeds Rotherham. Now, Leeds, in my opinion, look the best team in the Championship by far. The way they play football, the way they attack, the way they defend. Bielsa has done something very different at Leeds, and they look very good. In my opinion, they're going to go on to get promoted in the top 2 easier, if they keep the way they are. But at this stage of the season, we can only take that. Obviously, Rotherham back team to go straight back down and finish bottom of the league. But who knows where they'll finish this year? They could survive, or they could go down. Who knows? But for this one, I'm going to go for a Leeds 3-0 win. Now moving on to Hull Blackburn. Now I can see this one being a very boring game. There may be a goal in it somewhere, and if that goal comes from anyone, it's going to be Blackburn, in my opinion. If the game gets nicked at any point of the game, then I'm going to back Blackburn to get a 1-0 win. Now moving on to Sheffield United versus Norwich. Now Sheffield United starting off with a loss on the opening day, and Norwich losing their last game to West Brom. Now I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this one. I believe both teams will cancel each other out. They've both got quality to go and win the game, but I think both teams will cancel each other out, which is why I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Now moving on to Millwall versus Derby. Now Derby getting thrashed in their last game against Leeds, and I loved it. And they didn't even look very good at Reading when they got the win. They just nicked it last minute against a Millwall who are very hard to beat, home or away. Obviously, especially at home. If you can go to the Den and pick up 3 points, you're considered a good team, because they defend with everything at home, and very hard to beat the way they defend. But I'm going to go for a Millwall. No, I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between Millwall and Derby. Now moving on to the late kickoff on the Saturday, and it is Preston versus Stoke. Preston, one of the hard teams to beat, just like Millwall in the league. And on their day, they can hurt teams, if you know what I mean. Against Stoke, the backed champions at the start of the season, they've not really hit off in the Championship, losing to Leeds and drawing to Brentford, I think they did. So I can go Preston for a 2-1 win. I believe they can do it, so I'm going to go Preston 2-1. Now moving on to the last game of the weekend, and it is Brentford versus Sheffield Wednesday on the Sunday. Now Wednesday obviously getting the 2-0 win last night against Sunderland in the Cup, and Brentford getting a decent draw last time out in the league against Stoke. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Brentford home win. But that's going to do it for the end of the video. If you enjoyed, then drop a like below, subscribe if you haven't. It would mean the world to me. It's nothing to you, but it's everything to me. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers as quick as possible. But until then, see ya.